So this is the piece that I bought thinking I would be able to just quickly hack in and make my RGB lightsaber into a Neopixel. This is $23 off of Dark Wolf Sabers. And one thing that I did not consider is the fact that this is a 3-plug, and this is not the saber that I'm using, but it's connected with a 4-plug. Okay? I fired off an email to Johnny over at Dark Wolf Sabers, and he confirmed my worst nightmare. If I wanted the conversion to work, there was no magic plug. I was going to have to crack open the hilt and solder directly to the board. Now, I'm not the world's handiest man. I have a notorious habit of tightening screws exactly one time too many until they strip. I'm the guy who takes something apart, puts it back together, and somehow winds up with a pile of mystery parts left over on the table. This is on my core that I'm going to be practicing on. It's not connected up to the data line to be able to power the individual LEDs on the lightsaber. So yeah, I got that not going for me, which isn't great. I owned the world's cheapest soldering iron, and I was terrified of it. But I had a choice. Walk away and throw $80 down the drain, or risk frying a $100 Xenopixel chip and ruining the entire lightsaber to boot. Thankfully, one can learn literally anything on YouTube. I spent hours watching tutorials, reading, wiring diagrams, and practicing on an old dead chip from a previously botched project. And shout out to Johnny at Dark Wolf, because with some back and forth emails, I actually managed to revive a chip I thought was completely dead. My confidence was through the roof. I was ready for the real deal. I prepped the wires. I tinned the iron. I made the joints. Everything looked textbook clean. I popped the chassis back together, hit the button, and boom! It powered up. It made crisp, beautiful sounds. I slid the Neopixel blade into the emitter, tightened the retention screws, pressed the button, and nothing. No light, just sound playing into an empty, dark tube. I was absolutely floored. How could I get the hardware completely right, but fall flat on my face at the finish line? Johnny came to the rescue once again. He reminded me that the hardware is only half the battle. I had to open up the Xeno app and manually toggle the firmware setting from RGB baselit to Neopixel. Simple fix, right? Except it still didn't work. Even Johnny was stumped at this point and offered to jump on a phone call to troubleshoot. But I decided to try one final Hail Mary and forced a complete software update on the lightsaber. Once the board's core software was updated, the firmware toggle finally locked in. 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Instead of burning money and bricking a perfectly good hilt, I forced myself out of my comfort zone, conquered my fear of soldering, and added well over $100 of actual value to this hilt. If you're sitting on a baselit saber and you've been terrified to try DIY upgrades, take it from a guy who strips screws for a living. If I can do it, you can too. But I want to hear from you. Have you ever attempted a crazy RGB to Neopixel conversion with zero experience? Did you nail it on the first try, or did you accidentally smoke a board like I almost did? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if this helps inspire your next build, and I'll see you in the next video.